Well, percenters, welcome back to 1424 Basketball Training, where the goals take 14 minutes, 24 seconds, or 1% of your day to get better. In today's video, a reaction to the Draymond Green and KD interview on his channel Chips, I think. So let's watch a part real quick. The part that had me the most interested.
I'd be number two.
Here we go.
I was a number two pick. I was a number two player in the country. I remember reading a statement where you said, I'm tired of being number two. I was a number two pick. I was a number two player in the country. Where was that coming from? Like, why did you feel that? Like, yeah, because we had just lost in the finals. And I felt like we was right there every game. And people was like, hey, good job. Like, y'all did great. Like, you guys are young. I'll be right back. And I was like, I don't care about that. I want to win that series. I want to win the championship. And that's where that came from. I was just, people want me to accept being second so much. That was never my mentality. I would always win the game. And, I appreciated people, like, respecting my game. I wanted more for myself. And at that point, that's how I was feeling. First 9 years.
Oh, my God. I remember when that statement came out. And I remember just resonating so much with that. Especially as a coach now, players will want to settle. And as bad as it may seem, the coaches set the tone, the parents set the tone for the athlete. Do athletes think that they can go college? Can they go pro? Are they just, going to be JV or varsity or freshman, right? If deep down inside, you're a player that has that burning desire to compete, to play, to dominate, to excel, to work harder than everybody else, don't ever let anybody tell you what to settle for. There's going to be a lot of noise, especially growing up, if you're not around that competitive environment or around people that will support you chasing your dreams. A lot of people don't chase their dreams, man. They settle, and it's the safer path for sure. But a few of you guys out there that want to chase a dream, you got to go for it, and you have to learn how to block out that noise and don't settle. It's just amazing. If you're different, if you're built different, you're different. No matter how much you try to settle, you will be not satisfied. The regular path, the traditional path, is definitely not for you. So go for it if you're chasing a dream.
In OKC, and then you decide that you live in OKC, and you ultimately decide to come to the war.
Here's another part.
They told me right there and there, like, we're not suspended.
Here's another part. I don't know if this will block the algorithm or whatever it is, but they're talking about when KD and Draymond had a big argument, and it kind of caused that falling out. They talked about how management tried to step in and settle it between the players, and management tried to force Draymond Green to apologize to KD. And what ultimately they decided that they had to split up. And now years later, they kind of openly discuss it, that it would have been better had the players just handled it themselves. So if the coach isn't in proximity, the owners aren't in proximity, a lot of times you got to trust your players to handle it themselves. Whether if it's boys, they got to fist fight. If it's girls, they got to, hug it out, or whatever girls do to resolve a conflict. Sometimes you don't need that external coach or parent to figure it out. You have to let the kids fight. You have to let them, wrestle or even go to blows sometimes, and see where that limit is to get to that level of understanding that you need in these wars, man. These basketball games, a lot of teams, might use it for fun. A lot of teams that are trying to win, it's a war. It's an all-out war. So if you can't trust your teammate on the court, you're not going to win. You're definitely not going to have a winning team. Yeah. So I mean, sometimes, a lot of times parents screw it up, and you got to let the kids figure it out. You want to guide them a lot. But me as a coach, I definitely don't provide a lot of answers. I provide a lot of questions, and I try to guide them to think for themselves and reach a conclusion.
Every single day I started thinking like that, and I started seeing the beauty in all this shit. Too.
Not that part.
Yes. Everything that you said on the burner account, you just started to say on the rest account. Yeah.
Another cool moment they talked about when Kevin Durant had a burner phone and he was on Twitter or Instagram or whatever responding to a bunch of people, and when he got caught, he just said screw it, and he started doing it on his regular account, and more people started hating him. No matter what you guys gonna do, you're gonna get hate. If you're doing something right, you're probably gonna get some haters. So if you don't got any haters yet, or if you don't got any people doubting you, then you're not on a path. People that stray from the traditional path are gonna get hate. And if you are one of those people that are on this kind of entrepreneur or different path, not the traditional, 9 to 5, go to work, get a job kind of path, expect to hate. And I would say let it motivate. Don't shy away from who you are, and try to grow into who you are, and understand that, haters are always going to hate. That's what they get paid to do.
So a decade later, since I made that decision, you know what I'm saying? That's not going to stop me from engaging with fans, because at the end of the day, you're in this space with the Nets, and
the next part that I thought was interesting was a part when he talked about all his teammates that had chips on their shoulder: Draymond Green, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, all these players that he plays with has a chip on their shoulder. Anybody that made it to the NBA has to have a chip on their shoulder. Anybody that has been any type of success in their niche, in their realm, in their field, you have to have a chip on your shoulder, because if you don't, nothing's gonna kind of propel you or internally motivate you to push yourself. A lot of times people want to wait for external motivation to push them, a coach, a parent, a friend, social media, some likes, to help you do some things a little bit more. But if you're not internally motivated, you're going to have a very, very hard time succeeding, competing in this global world. Basketball is just a small piece of that. And if you're not, wanting to do that from within, to make yourself better from within, and you're just relying on likes and comments and friends and coaches and trainers all the time, you're not going to succeed, because those external forces, you cannot have them around you 24/7. And let's say you're super rich and you do have that around you 24/7, it still wouldn't matter, because the thoughts in your mind are way more powerful than what anybody can tell you from the outside. It's that internal dialogue. Do you say you're a great athlete? Do you say you're a bad student, a good student, a slow learner, a smart learner? Do you say you're a freak athlete? Do you just say, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too slow, I'm too fat? I'm not made for this. I am made for this, right? How do you talk to yourself through the years of coaching and personal training? It's all in the mentality, man. Whether or not you can lose the weight, lift the weight, all of those things, it comes from your internal dialogue. A coach can guide you and train you and can remind you, right? I just remind a lot of people what they need to do, especially adults. But for kids that don't know any better, I give them some guidance. So that internal dialogue, talk about internal motivation all the time. You got to have that little chip on your shoulder, and usually that chip means you're internally motivated.
I always felt like I was just really zoned in on my work in my alone time, in my free time. Too much for me to lock in or something like that. Eventually I do want that, but the older, 10 more years left. So what comes after that? Have you?
And then the last thing that I want to comment on is when Draymond Green said, "Hey, KD, you don't have any kids. What do you plan on, whatever?" KD says, "I'm so locked into basketball. I don't really care about any of that stuff right now. I'm so locked in." And he said, "If I do have kids, I'd rather have them not know me as KD, because he doesn't want his kids to feel the pressure of becoming the next KD." Kids feel so much pressure to become who their parents are and stuff like that. Again, it goes back to the internal motivation. A lot of parents, I would actually encourage them to externally motivate their kids until they're about maybe 14, 15, 16, until these kids have the internal desire or cultivate that internal desire for them. But when they're young, you got to push them and lead them in a bunch of different directions and see what they like. But once they start kind of showing interest in a particular area, that internal motivation has to be cultivated. And so your mentality as an athlete, as a person, you have to be, willing to grow and not, I guess, hear the noise. Yeah, pretty interesting interview with Draymond and KD. And the last kind of thought that I had coming across when I was watching this interview was how much players change, and does their narrative or the media narrative change with it? Look at these two players. They're interviewing each other. They're much more mature. They're not teammates anymore. They were teammates on USA and then weren't on during the NBA. Players are changing all the time. The world is changing all the time. As a coach, I'm changing all the time. It's especially with the youth. They're changing so fast every single day that most of the times that I'm really just watching, observing, and listening to learn to how to coach them better. A lot of people are just so rigid and have a hard time coaching, the youth, saying they're soft or young, or, they don't know any better, or they're just, no attention span. Well, coaches, adults, parents, we all have to adapt as well. These kids are changing so quickly. If you're in any type of coaching or training, if you're a parent, you have to really step up your game, just like you're forcing these kids and players to step up your game to, manage them better, to coach them better, to lead them better. So keep in mind, if you're in any type of, role that you're constantly changing, and that people are constantly changing, and this world is constantly in motion. So try not to be too rigid, be a little bit more flexible, go with the flow, have a plan, but be ready for your plan to be kind of messed up. All right, guys, that's all for now. Those are my thoughts on the Draymond and KD stuff. Until next time, take 14 minutes, 24 seconds, or 1% of your day to get better. Peace.